You're missing your kid's baseball game right now, aren't you? You were supposed to be in the bleachers, clutching a Gatorade in one hand and your iPhone camera in another, screaming as your kid is stepping up to bat. But instead, you're sitting under a stale office air, stuck in another urgent meeting that should have just been an email. Or maybe it was the dance recital last week, the school play that you promised you'd be at, their birthday dinner you missed because the client needed you. Whatever it was, you weren't there. And deep down, I know that's eating you alive. You can feel it, like that familiar knot in your gut, like someone laced your insides with barbed wire. The sting behind your eyes when you walk into a quiet house and see their half-eaten cupcakes sitting on the counter. The silence when you say, "Sorry, I missed it." And they just nod or walk away. I know because not only have I lived it, I've worked with hundreds of successful entrepreneurs who all told me the same thing. I'm building this business for my family, but I'm losing them in the process. Let's take a moment and let that sink in. Because you're working 70, 80-hour weeks, hustling for the dream, the lake house, the beach house, the legacy, the freedom, all for the people that you love most, but they're slowly becoming strangers. Your daughter talks more to her iPad than she does to you. Your son stopped inviting you to his games because you're always busy. And your wife, well, she doesn't nag you anymore. I guess that's good, but she just accepts it. And that silence is never good. But here's what stings the most. This is not happening because you're a bad man. I don't believe that. I believe you're a great man. But it's happening because you've bought into the most seductive lie in business. Sacrificing family time is simply just part of creating success. My name is Thomas Edwards, and for the past 16 years, I've helped high-performing entrepreneurs build multi-million-dollar businesses that are thriving without burning their marriages to the ground or watching their kids grow up through their Instagram stories. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact framework that my clients use to reclaim their families and grow their businesses. But first, let's talk about what's really at stake. According to a 2007 report by the AC Nielsen Company, parents spend only 39 minutes per week in meaningful conversations with their children. That is less than the time it takes to watch one episode of Paw Patrol. And that was 18 years ago. So you and I both know that it's already worse now. Now, let's fast forward 20 years. Let's say you've made it. Bank account is stacked, the dream car's in the garage, your vacation in Tuscany is locked in, but your adult kids only call you on Christmas. Your marriage feels more like a board meeting than a true love story. And despite the empire that you built, you feel this hollowness, this emptiness that even your Rolex can't even cover. This isn't fiction. This is what happens when good men believe they can make it up later. One client of mine, we'll call him David for the purpose of this story, built a $20 million company while his son grew from age 4 to 14. And when I started working with him, you want to know what he told me? He said, "My son doesn't even look up from his phone anymore, especially when I walk into the room. I don't even know how to talk to him." And do you want to know what he said to me when I asked him how it felt? I'll tell you in a second, but first, you need to understand why this happens to almost every ambitious father I meet. Because the real cost of buying into the sacrifice now, family later mentality is on the surface, it looks noble, but underneath, it's absolute poison. And let me be crystal clear about something. You do not have to choose between building a business and being an incredible father and being an amazing husband. In fact, after helping dozens and dozens and dozens of entrepreneurs transform both their businesses and their family lives, I've discovered something extremely fascinating. The most successful entrepreneurs don't sacrifice family for business, they actually integrate. This approach is what I call iconic integration. And it's not just a life-saving philosophy that I just made up. It's a proven business accelerator. Here's why. When your family life is thriving, you make clearer business decisions. Your mind isn't clouded by guilt or relationship stress. You're not constantly distracted by problems at home. You become more efficient with your time because you have meaningful boundaries that you set yourself. And most importantly, you're working from a place of fulfillment rather than desperation. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is probably going through your mind. Sounds great, but I'm already working 70 hours a week. I don't have time for anything else. Very typical. And I hear you. And that's exactly what another one of my clients, Jason, told me when we first started working together. Jason was running a 7-figure real estate brokerage. And essentially he was working, putting the lights on at 5 a.m. and turning them off at 9 p.m. And his wife was considering leaving him. His 6-year-old daughter had stopped asking him to play with her. And 6 months later, after we worked together, Jason was working 40 hours a week. His business revenue had went up by 30%, and he was coaching his daughter's soccer team. Now, how is this possible? Well, it's by implementing the 3 principles of iconic integration. Principle number 1, strategic time design. Most entrepreneurs approach their calendars completely backwards. They schedule business stuff first, and then they try to find time for family with the gaps that remain. Honestly, that's like trying to find leftovers at a dinner that you weren't even invited to. Think about it for a second. If your calendar doesn't prove your family matters, then your words never will. Iconic integration flips this model completely on its head. Start by blocking sacred, non-negotiable family time in your calendar. These are the baseball games, the dance recitals, the date nights, the family dinners that form the foundation of your relationships and your connections. Then you design your business operations around these commitments. Now, for Jason, who I mentioned earlier, this meant blocking every Wednesday afternoon and all day Saturday as sacred family time. No exceptions, no emergencies, no last minute meetings. And suddenly, he had to become a true CEO. He had to delegate, he had to systematize, and he had to trust his team, which ultimately made his business stronger. Principle number 2, presence amplification. Here's a question I have for you. If your kid had to vote right now, who gets more of your attention, them or your phone? What would they say? 10 hours of distracted time is worth less than 15 minutes of presence soaked in eye contact, laughter, and true connection. Presence amplification is about maximizing the impact of the time you do spend with your loved one. This means no phones during family time, creating rituals that actually foster deep personal connection, and learning to be emotionally available, not just physically there. Now, when David implemented this, he started with just 30 minutes of phone-free time with his teenage son every evening. That was 2% of his day. And within weeks, their relationship began to completely transform. His son started opening up. They developed inside jokes. They became father and son again, and not just 2 people living in the same house. Principle number 3, value integration. Do you really think your business and family are separate entities? Because they're not. The final principle is about aligning your business decisions with your family values. Too many entrepreneurs live split lives. One set of values at work and then the other at home. And here's the truth. Every business decision is a family decision, whether you like to admit it or not. Value integration means making business decisions that reinforce rather than contradict the values that you want to instill in your children and in your home. So this could mean involving your family in business philanthropy, making hiring decisions that prioritize character over credentials, setting boundaries with clients who demand your attention at wildly inappropriate times. Now, one client of mine, Michael, completely restructured his consulting business to align with his family's value of adventure. Now he takes his family on 1-month-long international trips while running his business remotely. And his revenue has doubled, and his children are getting a global education that no private school could provide. Now, I know implementing these principles, it's not simple. So I get it. You might be thinking, my business is different. I can't possibly step away from it. Or my business industry demands 24/7 availability. Or I have investors, partners, angels, clients who expect immediate responses. Listen, I get it. These are the same objections that I've heard from every single one of my dozens and dozens of entrepreneurs that I mentioned earlier. And every single one of them somehow found a way to make the iconic integration work. But here's the truth. The constraints are not in your business. They're in your mind. So here's my challenge to you. Imagine it's 20 years from now and your children are grown. Your business journey is largely behind you. And as you sit reflecting on your life, like what will matter more? That you responded to every email within the hour, or that you were there for the moments that shaped your children's lives? Now, I don't know about you, but the choice seems pretty obvious when I frame it this way, I hope. Yet every day, entrepreneurs make the opposite choice without even realizing it. You don't have to be one of them. In fact, I created a detailed video that shows you exactly how to implement iconic integration into your specific business. It includes the same frameworks, the same tools and the systems that help my clients build thriving businesses while becoming legendary fathers and iconic husbands. This isn't theory. These are battle-tested strategies from men and myself who are exactly where you are right now. Men who were missing baseball games and bedtime stories. Men whose marriages were hanging by a single thread. Men who felt torn between their ambition and then their love for their families. And now they're running more profitable businesses than ever while being the husbands and the fathers that they've always wanted to be. You got to remember, your children, they don't want your money. They'll appreciate it, but they don't want that. They want your presence. They want you. Your wife doesn't just want your success. That is important to her, but she also wants your partnership. And ultimately, you don't want achievement at the cost of everything else. You want to live a complete life. And iconic integration isn't just a business strategy, it's a life strategy. And it starts with rejecting the lie that sacrifice is necessary. You know this. You don't get these years back. Your business can recover from a missed email. Your child won't rewind their childhood so that you can try again. Click the link in the description below and let me show you how to build both legacies, the one that pays the bills and the one that makes life worth living. Because in the end, true success isn't measured by the size of your bank account. It's measured by the strength of your relationships. So don't wait until it's too late to truly realize what matters. Your business legacy is important. Like, that is true. But your family legacy, it's irreplaceable. And you can build both. It's time. So click the thumbnail that pops up, and I'll see you in the next video.